So I managed to double the total value of my investment portfolio this year, starting out on January 1st, 2021 with a portfolio value of just £27,898, whereas now, as at the time of recording this video, my total investment portfolio value sits at £55,064. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys exactly how I did it. I'm going to share with you guys some of the best investments I made throughout the course of the year and the return on investment which I achieved. I'll also share with you guys some learnings which I personally had along the way as well. And also I'll share with you guys some investing tips on how you can potentially do the same with your investment portfolio during 2022. But before I do so, guys, my name is Mitch. I post all kinds of videos on investing and the stock market. If you do enjoy content like that, hit that big red subscribe button down below as well. Drop a like on the video, guys. It really helps out the channel. With that being said, let's dive straight into it. So first up, it's probably important for me to say that whilst I've doubled the total value of my investment portfolio, that doesn't necessarily go to say that it's all unrealized profit. In actual fact, I've used up just over a quarter of my ISA allowance for this year, which equates to £5,432.70, along with an investment of roughly about £1,500 into cryptocurrency this year too. So if we do a little bit of quick math on that, the investing principal for this year for me personally is roughly about £7,000, with the remaining upside being unrealized profit of £20,234. Now when we calculate the return on investment of that, it's 72.5%. which is certainly an investment return that I'm extremely happy with, especially when you consider that the S&P 500, which is just the broader market index over in the United States, has returned 29.47% year to date so far. Obviously, my own personal investment performance is an overperformance of that index to the tune of just over 43%. And with over 90% of professional mutual fund managers just failing to beat the average returns of the S&P 500, how exactly was I, just your average investor, able to do this? Well, let's dive into some of the best investments I made throughout the course of 2021. So first up, the best investment which I've actually made so far, and is the first stock within my investment portfolio to actually hit a home run, is actually Tesla. Tesla has actually made huge gains in its first full year being listed in the S&P 500 as one of the world's leading electric vehicle manufacturers, with one of the best entrepreneurs of our generation, Elon Musk, at the head of the organization, taking it forward in leaps and bounds with new gigafactories, new Tesla models, and manufacturing records that have resulted in them becoming a $1 trillion organization. Whilst Tesla's year-to-date returns sit at an impressive 49.9%, my own personal Tesla position is at 124.98% for a total value of £5,692. Now, investing into Tesla certainly proved to me that investing in the future should certainly be part and parcel of my overall investment strategy and my overall approach to investing. Now, don't get me wrong, guys, I was certainly one of the Tesla critics, you could say, back in, I guess, 2018, 2019, when the company was trading at extremely high premiums, as it kind of still is today, but it was trading at even higher premiums back just 2 or 3 years ago when the company wasn't even turning a profit. And due to that, I kind of took a bit of a sidestep on Tesla and thought that's not one in which I want to actively include within my investment portfolio. The reason being that at the time I'd kind of been learning from reading lots of books around kind of Warren Buffett's investing principles and kind of learning about the kind of old school value investing approach to investing. However, over time, and whilst I still very much respect the likes of Warren Buffett and his overall investment philosophies and how he's built his own investment portfolio based on some more traditional value investing principles, I think for me personally, I'm taking a little bit more of a hybrid approach to investing, whereby I certainly want to invest into and not miss out on future opportunities in hugely growing areas, especially in the electric vehicle industry, which is massively going to grow over the course of the next decade or so, even though some of the stocks within some of these growing industries may be priced at a little bit of a premium. So having said that, the next best investment which I have had this year is in a company called Advanced Micro Devices, which is also closing in on home run territory. AMD is a leading semiconductor company who are focused on building great products that accelerate next generation computing experiences. With gaming very much being an industry that's growing at a rapid pace, and with AMD securing partnerships with the likes of Sony and Microsoft, it certainly seems like a no-brainer for me personally to invest into a growing stock in a growing industry. AMD have also provided shareholders with a fantastic year-to-date return so far of 66.27%, significantly outperforming the S&P 500 too. However, my own personal returns for AMD sit slightly higher at 87.96%, for a total investment value of £3,097.43. Now, AMD is a stock that I've been optimistic about for some time, and if you go scroll back through the depths of this YouTube channel, you'll find some very, very old videos of me talking about AMD and my personal optimism about the stock. So it's kind of good to look back on those videos, I guess, and it all kind of coming through to fruition and actually providing a pretty solid return on investment. And I guess similar to Tesla, it's certainly a stock that's very much operating in a vastly growing industry. So when I did my research on AMD, along with some competitor analysis as well, I certainly came to the conclusion that AMD was a good stock to add into my investment portfolio, especially when we compare them to, I guess, more older school, bigger competitors in the likes of Intel, who have kind of dominated the industry for many, many decades before. And this, I guess, is another really important point when you are looking to double the value of your investment portfolio, is to make sure that you do not just stock analysis, but competitor analysis as well, to make sure the stock in which you're investing in is kind of the best of the bunch of stocks within the same industry. And it's certainly important to go beyond your typical valuation metrics like a price to earnings ratio, price to book ratio, or even an earnings per share. Especially when you're investing into companies for the future, it's obviously more important to check out the growth rates of those companies, the strategic direction in which they're moving in, and whether they could actually be a true disruptor in this space, like AMD have shown when they've come up against bigger competitors Intel. So for me, AMD certainly ticks all of the boxes for a good long-term investment. Then finally, we have Apple, who are the third best performing stock within my investment portfolio this year. A cutting-edge technology company specializing in consumer electronics, computer software, and online services that have had another year of continued success with the launch of new products like the iPhone 13 and Apple Watch Series 7. It's a company that continues to innovate and continues to sell products at scale all around the world to its cult-like fan base, who will literally buy every single iteration of the iPhone as soon as it gets released. As a result, Apple's year-to-date performance has also been pretty stellar at 38.8%, with the stock trading at all-time highs of $179 per share. Now, my personal rate of return for Apple sits a little bit higher because I've been investing into them longer than just this past year, but the returns sit at 49.97% with a total value of £6,165, and is actually the largest holding within my own personal investment portfolio. Apple, in my opinion anyway, is kind of like a no-brainer to have within your investment portfolio. I guess you could say it's an investment to kind of just keep it simple when you're investing into the stock market. It's the biggest company on the planet today with a market capitalization closing in on nearly $3 trillion. And for me personally, I don't think it's a company that's going to get knocked off its top spot anytime soon. And I think if you can take confidence from looking at any kind of investor's holdings, the person to look at is Warren Buffett, who currently has a huge position in Apple, currently valued at $125 billion, which currently makes up 42.73% of Warren Buffett's investment portfolio. So for me, Apple, without doubt, is an investment which I'll continue to add within my investment portfolio and will continue to hold throughout the course of 2022 and beyond. So of course, investment performance, as I've just shown, is a big part of being able to grow the value of your investment portfolio over time. However, the other part to that is to also ensure that you're consistent with those investments in which you're actually making. Now, for those of you guys who haven't managed to catch up with some older videos on my channels just yet, well, I do an investment portfolio update every single month, and that kind of keeps me accountable to ensure that I still invest into my investment portfolio month in, month out, and ensures I have a level of consistency within my investment portfolio over time. And because I kind of take that month by month approach to investing, I don't get all that concerned about the short-term fluctuations of the price of a stock, because all of the investments in which I currently hold, I'm currently holding for at least the next 3 to 5 years. And regardless of the investing time horizon in which you have to allow your investments to grow over time, I think one of the key takeaways for this video, and one of the things that I've been able to do month in, month out, is just to simply be consistent. And it's not just been over the course of 2021, it's been in previous years when I first started out my investment portfolio back in 2017. Now, whilst we're on the topic of consistency, I think it's probably now the point in the video where I will now open my Trading212 investment portfolio and make a few additional investments. Right guys, so up on screen in front of you now, you can see one of my investment portfolios which I currently hold over on Trading212. I do have other investments held over on Vanguard UK, as well as over on different cryptocurrency apps as well, along with a small account on Free Trade too. But this is kind of one of the core investment portfolios which I have, and the portfolio which I'm actively contributing towards. And as of right now, we sit at a total portfolio value or account value of £27,703.99. I've got 700 and a bit pounds of free funds today, most of which I'm going to invest in just a moment's time. And the portfolio value as of recording this video is 26,974 quid. So you can see total return on investment is just over £7,000 with a return of 35.08%. So far, and these are all of the investments which I have within my investment portfolio. Another thing that I also thought that is probably worthwhile me touching upon whilst I've spoken about the best performing stocks within my investment portfolio, being Tesla, AMD and Apple, there are also some kind of worst performing stocks within this portfolio too, which I certainly don't want to shy away from, in the form of Palantir, Tattoo Chef, as well as Unity Software as well, which are all in the red to the tune of roughly about 20% or thereabouts. So of course, with upside, there's also downside as well, especially when you're individual stock picking. So because of that, be sure when you're investing to kind of invest into either stocks that you're comfortable with and just be prepared that they can go up in value as well as down. Or if you're not comfortable just stock picking, it's probably best you go down the route of just investing into a broader stock market index like the Vanguard S&P 500, which you can see at the bottom of the screen. But for now, I do want to make a few additions to this investment portfolio, and we are going to start off with an investment into Apple because it's a position that I want to continue to cost average my way into. So it's just going to be the one share of Apple today at £133.77. So that's that executed as of right now. The next stock in which I'm going to invest in today is going to be AMD. I'm going to buy another share in AMD. It's another company that's been performing fantastically well, and I still forecast based on current growth rates that this stock still has much more room to go to the upside, especially over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, with all of this advancement in gaming and all of the popularity in gaming very much taking off and going through the absolute roof. The next investment after that is going to be in Meta Platforms. Meta, or I should say the Oculus headset, was a big win over the Christmas period for Facebook, or now formerly known as Meta. It actually hit the top of popular apps on the App Store because obviously everybody got their Oculus headsets bought for them for Christmas. So because of that, I think we're going to see huge amounts of growth for Meta Platforms and Mark Zuckerberg's play into the metaverse over the course of the coming years or so ahead as well. So because of that, I'm going to continue to cost average my way into Meta to the tune of 0.5 shares today at £129.48. And then finally, the last investment, the second from last investment, which I'm going to make today, is actually going to be in Unity Software. It's a stock that's down quite heavily right now and will possibly struggle, if I'm honest, guys, over the course of potentially the coming months ahead. Growth stocks aren't performing all that well so far, which is why you can see quite a lot of red across 3 of the stocks within this portfolio, being some more speculative, higher growth stocks, if you like, in very, very explosively growing industries, which are due to grow rapidly over the course of the coming years or so ahead. Unity Software being one of those plays, especially in the metaverse. And today I'm going to increase my holding with the stock trading at certainly a discount of 1.5 shares, the equivalent to £159.81. I'm going to send that buy order to the market. And then finally, what do we have left? Well, we've got £192.98 left of free funds. And to be honest, guys, I'm just going to continue cost averaging my way into the S&P 500, which I believe hit all-time highs once again today, which is fantastic to see the growth rate on the S&P 500 continuing. So to be honest, I'm just going to pretty much invest whatever I can get, a whole unit or perhaps 2.5 units of the S&P 500 ETF to keep the investment portfolio diversified and to just more broadly spread my risk and reduce the volatility within my investment portfolio too. So that's going to be my investment portfolio update done very quickly over on Vanguard. And I think the kind of key takeaways that I want you guys to consider for your own investment portfolios for 2022, especially if you're going to look to kind of emulate the similar performance that I've been able to achieve throughout the course of 2021, I think it's to invest in the future and invest into stocks that are growing rapidly or forecasted to grow rapidly over the course of the next 3 to 5 to 10 years, is to make sure that you do proper due diligence and research and competitor analysis on the stocks in which you're investing into. is to fundamentally invest into some good companies like Apple, just a solid company to invest into within your investment portfolio, along with being just consistent with your investments into your investment portfolio over the course of the long term too, and just simply letting the power of compounding to do the work for you over the course of the long term. So with that said, guys, if you do want to learn a little bit more about how to invest into stocks, especially if you're just a beginner, be sure to click on this video here. And if you did enjoy this video, guys, be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And with that being said, I'll see you over in the next video.